Be'ezus Hashem, we're going to give a short version of why so many people today God forbid, that are married and they feel unfulfilled. They feel there's a lot lacking. People trying to get married, they don't feel that they're getting substantial suggestions. People that actually get on dates and they don't. They're very. They feel that people are very shallow. People that feel it's beneath them to just go through this whole resume way of doing a shidduch. Is that true? Is that not? What's going on? Right? And there's a lot of girls, especially, that they feel duped after they get married. They feel that they were hyped up, and really it was very little of what was being said, or a lot was not true. They feel tricked, and they feel duped. We'll feel a lot of them say they feel coerced, and so people like to ignore this. The question is, if people are saying this, you understand, then we can't, immature people just ignore it, you understand? But if people are going through this, we have to take it seriously and fix that. And here I'm going to make a long share about this. I have a lot in other shiurim that we spoke about this already. But, each year we like to take a different focus viewpoint, from a different area to go into it, like you have the 12 tribes, each one has like a different focus. We try to zoom in on it from different directions, and hopefully each person finds from one of the directions the truth hits them and it changes their life for the better forever, as opposed to things just getting worse and worse. Divorces are just getting worse and worse no matter what they do. Sometimes you can have a temporary, spike, but up, but in general it's just going down the so to speak, the Jewish stock of getting married just keeps going down, with very minute times of going up. Going up doesn't seem to be part of the equation. It just gets worse and worse. And the question people wonder is there something we could do about that? Is there something we're doing wrong? What's happening? Now, again, we have many shurim on this, but we want to talk about it from one of the points, and that is that people do not understand. Besides people not understanding themselves and not understanding their responsibilities, and even great people not understanding their responsibilities, whether they're man or woman, we also, in general, people are not understanding what is a man, what is a girl, what is a woman, right? Right, from Matt Walsh, right? In people, the system has become so narcissistic that people are they don't even care to think what is the other person experiencing, unless it really, really affects them. And even then, some people could still be egoistic and just thinking about themselves. So the question is, what is happening here? So I want to explain something. Here we're going to say a simple point. Hopefully another time we'll get into it more barichas, in a longer format. But that is that a woman, the way Hashem created her, is that she wants to feel that she's getting a prize. When she marries a man, she wants to feel like she's getting a prize. And Hashem gave an ability to women naturally, which for men they have to work hard to even get close to the level that a woman could do this at, is that women, they could sense, like with an instinct, with an emotional level, who that person is. Is he substance, or is he far away from there? Putting it in a nice way. They're able to sense, is he a liar? Does he say the truth? Right? Is he dangerous? Is he a thief? They're able to sense these things. Does he love people? Does he care about people? Women are able to sense this very, very easily. Men, however, they could go on years and never figure it out. You understand? They really have to put a focus on it to really start honing this ability. So the question is, what? So getting back. So now the question is, how does a man think? A man is a much more simpler being. You understand? A man is not expecting, huge, humongous things. He understands he's the man. That's his area to create. If he wants something to happen, he needs to do it. But what a man wants is that someone else should realize that he's a man, that he could take care of things, that he could do things. A man doesn't want to have to prove to someone that he's worthwhile. You understand? He wants someone who innately, meaning the person naturally, understands their value after spending a little time with them. He doesn't want to have to go and prove himself. Now, this happens to work very well because the girl actually wants someone who innately has a lot of value and doesn't go out proving his worth. She wants to see that he's a man. He's confident in who he is, and that he doesn't have to go proving who he is. So the way Hashem made this is ingenious. Exactly what the woman wants is what the man is, and exactly what the man wants is what the woman is. It's amazing. But that's only if they meet. The problem today is that you have a resume in between. The resume is like sticking the Satan in between. And you need no more proof than divorce rates just keep going high. Whatever they're trying to do, it just goes back down. It keeps going worse. The stock of traditional Jewish Orthodox marriages just keeps going lower at a rapid pace. In every spectrum, in every area. And as resumes become more the have to, that there's no other way, practically today, it's a force, meaning if a man wants to get married and he doesn't have a resume, or he doesn't want to give a resume, he won't get married. God forbid. That's the way they made it. It's that bad. So what the resume does is it forces the man to act contrary to what the woman desires and likes. And that is, a woman wants to meet a man, and she wants him to be someone that she figures out who he is. And he doesn't come and prove himself. He has self-dignity, self-worth. He has stamina. He is a good, positive force of nature. And she sees that in him without him saying anything. That's what she wants. She loves it when she sees it and he never says it. Ever. Ever. They can be married for 90 years. Never says it. That's what she loves about him. The problem is that the resume forces the man to have to prove himself to the parents, to the girl, to everybody involved. Like when it comes to a girl, there's a lot of people that that need to say okay. You understand? Because she's talking around, right? Men don't realize this, but the girls, they call each reference that they give. If you talk to that reference, they call each reference to see when you spoke to them, what did you say? What was their impression? A man doesn't do this. A man, he doesn't call back each of the references that he gave for the girl to check out, right? It doesn't. But that's what girls do naturally. You understand? So, so what happens is the resume takes away that initial. It's very, that initial connection that happens, that initial love. When there's people that they're, 90 years old, but they're still in love. And of course, the love has gone to higher levels, but it's also because they remember back to when she was beautiful. You understand? It's going back to that. And even some women, when the man gets old and a little grumpy, but she remembers back to when he was this handsome, dashing, clever, positive, good person. She goes back to that. And she could say, we had many years of that. Okay, a few years like this, I can handle it. You understand? Now, and of course, a person should be the best all the way to the last moment, but we're talking about reality of life. These things happen. When we mess up the initial connection, which is what resume does, it taints everything afterwards. So this is another point. Going back to the point that we were saying before this, the resume forces the man to act not manly. And the women lose that attraction that they wanted. They wanted to be that person that figured out how good this guy was, how good this young man was. You understand? And they go on, because of the resume that you have to prove yourself, they go into marriage, they go into meeting each other without that. There's no way to get that back. You understand? And she loses that forever, which is pretty sad. And it's very destructive in a marriage. And if you're dating her, that she should want to marry you and that she should feel that you're substance. Now, for a man, he wants a woman, a young girl, a young woman, right? He wants, or it could even be, it could be older, God forbid someone's spouse dies and, then they look for another spouse, a man wants a woman that instinctively understands who he is, understands his worth. He doesn't want to have to prove constantly his worth, and you understand, he doesn't want that. He wants a woman who realizes his erech, his unique worth. That's what he wants. Now with the resume destroys this, because the whole time he has to prove it. You understand? And again, the man can never get that back either. He can never get back to marrying a woman that he feels understands him, understood him without him having to say it, because that's what he's looking for. He's not looking that for the rest of his life he has to prove himself. He's looking that the woman understands him and respects him, understands his worth. And this is tremendous. You understand? Because in a deep sense, in order to respect and care about someone else, you need to be a confident, good person. And the women instinctively know this. If you want a good man, you need someone who has confidence, who they see in him a lot, and they know that type of man will treat them well. Sometimes they confuse this. They just look at his chashivas, his kavod, his honor, and they don't look at his character trait. But that is just due to bad training. Really, the woman looks at both. With bad training, she sorts of loses, the positive, emotional, good character aspect. Now that we understand what's happening here, now we take it a step further. Now we have generational, that resume is the way, which when women don't use their abilities, when men are forced to do things opposite of who they are, what happens is a person gets disconnected from themselves, of what does it mean to be a woman, of what does it mean to be a man, and they don't even know who they are. This is what's happening in society. It's not just randomly that you have this, I don't know what they call themselves, with the, people going gay, people changing their body parts. Thank God in the Jewish world it's not happening to that extent, but it is happening. The people lose who they are and they're trying to find themselves, and the journey to finding self is one of the most important things in a person's life. As you see, people could do these crazy things, and only later on in life will they really regret it. You understand? At the moment, they just wanted to find self. That's it. So what we have now is a generation that women don't know, because of generational, and it's really petrification. The whole resume is really petrification, the whole thing, for the women, for the men, for both of them, you understand? Even for the parents, and even for the people on the resume, how they get treated when they get called about this girl, about this boy. Usually it's worse when the call is about the boys, although it could also be very bad when it comes to the girl. It's bad everywhere, you understand? What happens is this takes away, it diminishes, it rots who they are. And girls today, they need to be trained back into connecting to what a girl is. They can't shots up who's the person. They can't figure out who this is. They go with a guy and they go 10 dates and they can't figure him out. Girls in the past, they could, right, and before they saw him walking towards them, they could already figure out who's this guy. Today, completely clueless. And the ones that think that they know anything, those are the most stupidest ones of all. They come up with these weird things, you understand? They file a police report that he was, he was doing a nice boy treatment by buying me a coffee. I don't know, so weird things. This is girls today. If there was a slight, she wanted to go to a place that no Jew was found on her first date or coffee date. She was embarrassed to do it in front of other people. And he was like, we're Jewish. Why don't we be around Jews? Why do we go into a Goyish bar? But that's what she wants. She feels embarrassed that anybody should see her dating. It's absolutely insane. Why does she, that's what the system makes her feel. But the man says, okay, we'll go to, let's say, a bowling alley, but she's afraid there might be one Jew there that sees them. You understand? And now she just says, I don't, forget it. You understand? And she just breaks off ever meeting you. Right? And she does this through like a shotgun or through some middleman. She never even spoke to you this whole time. You understand? Such low character, such low level of a human being. And this is, this can happen both ways. I'm just, as a man, I know more. I try to always go back on a true story, so I know more stories as a man from men's perspective. But it could go both ways, obviously. People losing, really what we need today is that we have to start a movement. It's usher to have a resume. That's what we have to start, because resume is not just not, it's not helpful, because at the end of the day, if you want to know someone, you need to meet them. So if you think that your child is immature but still should get married, then at least the parents should meet them, or whoever is taking care of this this child. That's the way they're thinking of them. But if they think of them as an adult, you understand, then that person should meet them. Then they should meet. You understand? So really, it's really irrelevant. That's the truth. But it's not just that it's irrelevant. It's dangerous. It's destructive, and it's now generationally it's happening. And the women and the men are a shadow of what they used to be. You understand? They're a shadow of it. It could be today they have nicer makeup. They can make themselves look more pretty. Men, they could do all these different things. But, with the technology of today, but the person inside is shallow and empty. And people have to realize this, and they have to say, that's it. I'm never going to do a resume again. And I want to say, sometimes in the past, when we're bringing this topic up, so we try to find middle ground. We try to, limit it. Trust the shotgun, but the shotgun should get a resume. We gave these ideas, even though I did mention then that I think it should be completely, coffee dates, people, instant meeting. If you have a from Ehrlich Jew that suggests something, meet. You understand? There's a lot of people that met their basher because a guy suggested it. They were on a train, and this guy says, you and this, and this girl over there, you come here every day. Why don't you meet? You're both single. And then they met, because it was a guy. They couldn't start saying resume and all this because they would look like an idiot. So they just went out, and then they got married. You understand? But I really want to double down on this. I want to say the truth now. We have to completely obliterate resumes. That's the truth. We have to completely obliviate them. We should make a derabanan in our days. People's communities should make this. People's ravs should say, any girl or any boy in my shul, in my community, it's usher to use resume. That's what should happen. We need a drastic change, not within even 90 days, within 30 days. A kol kari should go out. People that really care about their kids, people that really care about their communities, tzaddikim and rebbetzins and roshivas and chachams and rebbas and mashpiyim, whatever their name is, that really care about the people in their community, they need to make a kol kare and completely aser resumes. And then we'll see that women naturally will start filling up. The empty shell will start to leave. The empty shell of nonsense will start to leave, and they'll start feeling like a woman, will start feeling happy again, feeling like a woman, feeling that people love her, that people realize that she exists. Men will stop feeling like they're being bombarded and attacked, and complete, and this worthlessness that they feel in themselves will go away. They'll start feeling like human beings. They'll go back to what Hashem created in them, as a man, as a woman. They'll be a person full of love and happiness and laughter. May we all follow Hashem's ways, because his ways are truly beautiful and full with love and kindness.